Dramatic stuff this morning. Also dramatic stuff over at the federal courthouse this morning, where a federal judge sent Paul Manafort to prison today. Paul Manafort, of course, the former Trump campaign chairman. The federal judge saying that she couldn't overlook allegations that he'd tried to tamper with witnesses in the ongoing investigation. That means that Manafort will be in prison between now and his 2 trials coming up on separate sets of issues later this year in July and September. That is some significant jail time for a former presidential campaign chairman. The president at that news conference out here this morning tried to distance himself from Paul Manafort. Here's what he said.
You know, Paul Manafort worked for me for a very short period of time. He worked for Ronald Reagan. He worked for Bob Dole. He worked for John McCain, or his firm did. He worked for many other Republicans. He worked for me, what, for 49 days or something? A very short period of time.
The president there saying it was 49 days. In fact, it was 144 days that Manafort worked for the president of the United States. Nonetheless, the president clearly trying to put some distance between himself and his former campaign chair on a day in which the campaign chair was heading to jail. Now, of course, it raises the question of whether the president's going to pardon any of his former associates in all of this. He was asked about that as well. Here's what he said.
Since you say that you feel badly, is there any consideration at any point of a pardon for any of the people?
I don't want to talk about that. No, I don't want to talk about it. They'll run. But look, I do want to see people treated fairly.
So, Bill, there you see the president leaving the option open to pardon some of these aides, including Paul Manafort. We'll wait and see whether he makes any dramatic announcements here. Paul Manafort heading to jail joins John Mitchell of the Nixon campaign way back in the 1970s, was also a former campaign chair who went to prison. He was sentenced on obstruction of justice and perjury charges back in the 1970s.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.